The WHO has declared the Ebola outbreak in the northeast of the Democratic Republic of Congo over almost 2 years after it began. The Congolese government hailing a major victory, although a fresh outbreak of a new strain of the virus is causing alarm in the west of the country. Well, for more on this, we can cross now to Goma to speak with Abdou Dieng, head of the UN's Emergency Ebola Response Office. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us here on France 24. Now, the DRC does regularly see outbreaks of Ebola, but this one in the country's northeast was the longest and also the deadliest. Why was that exactly?
Yeah, there are two main reasons, in fact, why it has taken too long, and it has also become extremely complex. The first reason is that where the disease was an environment which is extremely complex, lots of insecurity during the response. During this outbreak, we have faced violence in that area of the North Kivu and the Ituri. About 125 armed groups are operating in the environment. There were about 300 attacks on the responders. 11 people from the response and patient have died. This is one reason. The second reason was due to resistance of the population. They could not believe that this exists, regardless of all the effort made to overcome the issue. The resistance was so high. These are the two main reasons why it has taken too long, and it is one of the worst epidemics, apart from the one in West Africa, where I was, by the way. But luckily, today, out of the 3,400 people who were infected, 1,200 people survived, meaning that 1 out of 3 survived. It means there is hope, because now there are vaccines, now there are medicine to treat the people.
Now, you mentioned briefly the mistrust of the general population towards the medical community. How do you account for that? What are the reasons behind that mistrust?
The reasons are that, first of all, maybe the communication to the local population was not well done at the beginning of the disease, because they believe that if you have Ebola, you will die. Why to go to Ebola treatment center? The second reason was also the false rumors spread around it, because many sort of rumors were spread. So, but at the end, we managed to convince the population to adhere to the protocol. The lesson we have learned is that if the population are not adhering to the protocol, there is very little you can do.
Now, there is a new outbreak that the DRC is having to contend with in the northwest of the country. To what extent is that situation under control?
I think all the lessons learned during the last 2 years on the 10 epidemic are being applied on the 11th one, which is happening in a region called Equateur. So far, it is being contained, and we hope that it will be contained very quickly, because the knowledge is here in this country. I think that Congo has the highest knowledge in terms of Ebola. The national staff, who have been trained, are the one on the front line, and we do expect that this will help to overcome the situation.
Now, the outbreak in the northwest is a different strain of the virus to what we've been seeing in the northeast. Does that pose any specific challenges as far as treatment is concerned?
I don't think so. I think in terms of treatment, I was saying that today, luckily, vaccine exists. the medicine also exists. Remember that the 9 outbreak also happened in the same area, and it was contained within 3 months. And we expect this time, with all the knowledge, all the expertise, that combined together will help us to respond very quickly to this outbreak.
Now, this all comes, of course, during the global COVID-19 pandemic. What is the coronavirus situation in the DRC right now?
Like anywhere in Africa, yes, we are seeing cases increasing, but not as it was expected. Of course, it make another challenge in addition to the Ebola outbreak. But so far, the government is working hard with the support of the partners to contain the situation. But so far, we can say that it is being contained so far.
Abdou Dieng, head of the UN's Emergency Ebola Response Office, thank you very much for speaking to us here on France 24.